All right, Pac-Manians, I'm back here with 10.4, page number 2. I kind of lied. It's 3 problems on the 3rd page. We're actually going to do 2 here. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to do the next 2 so that they're kind of split up a little bit. A carton of large grade A eggs weighs about 1.5 pounds. If a carton holds a dozen eggs, how many ounces does each egg weigh? So now we're going to go ounces, or from pounds to ounces. Ounces are smaller, so I need more, so there will be a lot of them, right? And then I've got to figure out, after I get all of my ounces, how much is just one egg. And there's a dozen, and how many eggs are in a dozen, right? So these are all things we've got to consider. So there's multi-steps. So we're going to follow it. 1 pound is 16 ounces. Okay, and it gives me 1.5 times 16. Okay, so it just puts a little line there for us, but we actually have to do the work. I'm not going to be knowing what 15 times 16 is right off the top of my head. So I'm going to write 1.5 times 16. And when I'm multiplying with the decimal, when do I worry about the decimal? At the very end, right? That's when I worry about it. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. So I'm just going to multiply it, and then I'm going to place it. 6 times 5 is 30. So I'm going to put my 0 here and a 3 up there. 6 times 1 is, of course, 6. That's easy. Plus 3. Boosh, 9. Dialed in here. What do I put here? Don't say a placeholder. That's a 0 for real, because that's a 10, right? 1 times 5 is 5. Easy. 1 times 1 is 1. Right? So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to go 0. 9 plus 5. Right? That's 14. Okay, and 1 plus 1. That's like first problem you ever learn, right? That's 2. All right, now I have 1 on the top, 1 number behind the decimal on the top. So how many do I need on the bottom? 1. Put my little decimal there. It's going to be 24 total ounces. That makes sense. 16 plus 8 is 24. I've got 20. The carton weighs about 24 ounces. Okay. Now I've got 1 carton, 1 dozen eggs is how many? 12. So I'm going to put my 12 here. All right. Each egg weighs, so I got to do my division over here. 24 divided by 12. Come on. Right? That's easy. That's a 2. Right? I use my multiplication chart with my big brain if I know all my facts. Right? And it's going to be about 2 ounces. Easy peasy. I'm going to do this one here. Number 1. They give you no room. It makes it look like it's just going to be some little easy problem, but there's actually a little bit more than that going on, in my opinion. So I'm going to do my best to kind of squeeze a couple things in here, and I'm going to have to do a couple on the side. So after each soccer practice, Scott runs 4 sprints of 20 yards each. Good for Scott, man, doing a little extra work. I like it. So he runs 4 sprints. Can you see me? Okay, good. 4 sprints, 20 yards each. That sounds to me like multiplication problem. If he continues his routine, how many practices will it take for Scott to have sprinted a total of 2 miles? So I'm going to be going from yards and miles, right? So Scott sprints how many yards each practice? Well, if he does 4 of 20 each, the word of means multiply. I'm going to write in here 4 times 20. Well, what's 4 times 2? That's 8. So this is going to equal 8 plus my 0, right? That's 80. 20, 40, 60, 80. Easy. Got it. Here it says there are how many yards in 2 miles? Well, how many are there in 1? 1,760 yards. So I got to take 1,760 and I want to multiply it by 2, or I can just add it to itself. 2 times 0 is 0. That's the easy one. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 7 is 14 plus the 1. That's 15. Carry that over. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is this many's, right? I got 3. So I get 3,520. Barely enough room to even fit that in there. And so in order for me to figure out how many, right, what operation am I going to use? I'm going to repeatedly run 80 and subtract it from that total until I know. So I'm going to repeatedly subtract 80. And if I'm repeatedly subtracting, what operation is repeated subtraction? It's division, right? I'm making something smaller. So I'm going to take 3,520. Let's see, you can see, I'm going to do it right up here. 3,520. All right. And I'm gonna divide that by 80. And what can I do with my zeros, right? I can just knock those bad boys off, right? And then divide 352 by 8. Will 8 go into 3? Can I take 8 from 3? If I got $3, can I give you 8? No. Right? So I can go 8 into 35. How many times will that go? How many times can I take 8 from 35? 4 times 8 is 32, so that makes sense. I'm going to put a 4 here. I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3, and then I'm going to bring down my 2, because 3 minus 3 is 0. I'm done. And look at that. That works out pretty nicely. I got another 32. I already know what that is. That's another 4, right? So it's going to take him 44 practices, because we're already done here. We don't need this part, right? We took our zeros off. Okay, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to do the next 2 problems. All right. See you in like a second.